This is not over, Adam. This is not over. Hi guys, and welcome back to Liverpool. If you've been enjoying the save and the beta in general, drop a like on the video. That would be tremendous. Where are all the algorithm ultras at? So, plan for today is we're going to try and be doing a little bit more on the signings front. I definitely want to bring in a couple of players before the end of the window, maybe even a couple on deadline day, just so we can sort of experience all that it has to offer. But before we get into that, I just wanted to show you James Milner. Man came off the bench against Leicester, scored an absolute cracker of a goal to sort of justify maybe why he should be starting a few more games. Then again, we've got so many matches on so many fronts this season. I could easily see Mr. James Milner making at least 30 odd appearances for us this season and probably getting at least 25 goals. He's got 1 in 1. It's not even 1 in 1. He's got 1 in a bit, which then provokes things like this. I'll just leave that on the screen for a second. And also things like this, which, again, will just sort of be on the screen for a second. It's a weird time to be alive. But hey, scoring a goal in a vital opening Premier League match is one way to get yourself welcomed back into my welcoming bosom. Also, just notice that James Milner has 1 England goal. Now, I think it's trivia time. So, pause the video in a minute. Who did he score his only England goal against? And yeah, what happened in that match? Let me know. We'll give the answer later in the video. I know, trivia. It's like the back of a map in a restaurant. A map in a restaurant. What is that? You know what I mean. I'm going to get my crayons out. All in all, very happy with him. Let's get cracking. Adam Plojak is one of those players that I've always seen develop really, really well on previous FMs, but I've never had a chance to actually play with him. So I actually kind of feel like, since I was saying that I was going to focus this transfer window on some young signings, hopefully for the future, that could technically still do a job now, I think I might try and make him my first signing. So now this is a good opportunity to try out the whole transfer ranges and whatnot. Now, we don't have him fully scouted yet, which might explain why this is a little bit on the low side, but also notice how he's wanted by Dortmund, so we'd have to get in there. I feel like we'd have the clout to possibly outdo Dortmund, though, but the speed, there's just a lot of things to like about the guy already. And look at that mugshot. He looks a little bit like John Hader of Blades of Glory, just a tiny bit, albeit tiny picture, so who could possibly tell? So I think our first step really is to just try and talk to his agent, really. Very keen, and we actually are very keen, so I'm going to be upfront about how keen we are. He's only got a regional agent, which I think does matter. Good to hear. Unfortunately, he's not... What? Why is he not interested? Did he just sign a new contract? No. Have I upset you, Adam? Did I? It's because I said his name slightly wrong in the last episode, isn't it? That's bizarre. Let's just go anyway and see if we can figure out why. I'm curious now. You don't turn down Liverpool. I'm just going to make an offer. We're going to 500k to start with, just because it's a lower offer and see what they say. Probably should have got rid of that, but we can still negotiate around that. They actually want 8 million, which is higher than the transfer value. I think we could probably do a bit better than that. Let's try that. Oh, wow, okay. I was expecting them to renegotiate there. 5 million still feels like quite a bit, actually. But man, they came in swinging. But I just want to see what he says to us more than anything else. And if in doubt, if it all goes wrong, we can blame Jurgen. Interestingly, update on the light. It's been completely decommissioned now. It burst back into life in the middle of stream on Saturday. So... which makes no sense because the cable is broken. Usually, a reason is given. It will be something like no interest. That's so weird. Wants assurances of more playing time. This is new. This is new. Would this now change if I accept the loan back so we'd get more playing time and then we get him at the start of next season? It's still annoying, but I've never seen this before. I assume it's because he feels like I wouldn't be able to offer him a squad role that would actually benefit him playing time-wise, which is, again, something I've never seen before. Usually it's the other way round. Let's see what happens if I accept the loan back. No. So I'm not entirely sure. Let me try offering him that again, now with the loan back in it. He still hasn't got a chance. If he joins Dortmund, I'll be livid. I'll be livid. I suppose the annoying thing about this is I've not even had the opportunity to offer him any playing time. So, okay, cool. We really did get a lot of use out of those wide areas in the last game, despite actually playing more centrally. But I think that works for us. But one thing I would say is you can see that towards the end of both halves, although weirdly right before half-time we had a little bit of a bounce back, that does seem to be where we tire slightly, and I'm guessing that's because of our high pressing style. But it's nice to note that that does actually play out in the match momentum. A few more looks at some of these types of players. The thing is, what seems to happen a lot of the time with these guys is they look really good at first glance, but then when it actually gets to come into a deeper look, there's perhaps less there. Juan Cuadrado is actually available quite cheap from Juventus, it seems here. Now, the question is whether I'd want to sign someone who's 33, despite how good he is, but it would potentially give us a rotation option for Trent on that right-hand side, so that we're not relying on Trent all season. And maybe if we could get him on a short-term deal, depends on the money, really. Particularly as they might be looking to get rid, so we might be able to get him cheaper on the final day of the window, potentially. Salah now has twisted his ankle. Oh, my goodness. Our front line and midfield is taking a battering at the moment. Liverpool have been met with derision. Nobody can quite understand this transfer, can they? The press are like, why would they want him? And he's like, why would I want them? I have no intention of signing for Liverpool. This is not over, Adam. This is not over. Okay, match day. Away at Southampton. Missing Mo Salah, as we will be for most of the next month, it would seem, as with my boy Jordan Henderson too. Sorry, James. But on the plus side, Chelsea and Southampton played during the week, and Saints actually beat them 3-2, which I suppose is also a bad thing, because it now means they're top of the league coming into this game. But main thing is Chelsea dropping points straight off the bat there, which is useful. How are we going to set this up? Because changes are going to have to be made here without a shadow of a doubt. Salah definitely obviously cannot start here. Mane is still fine for the right... the question is, do we go with... I'd rather have Jota out wide right than Oxlade-Chamberlain, because I love what Alex does through the middle here. They do want to make more changes here, but I sense it's just to bring James Milner... I mean, honestly... I know I keep calling him... It's a force of habit. And I don't want to make too many changes, not at this point anyway, particularly as the fixture congestion hasn't built up yet, so I think we need to make the most of having a full, fresh starting team, well, as much as we can. A few players are a little bit tired. Harvey Elliott played a midweek game for the under-20s, I think. 4-4-2 for Southampton. Okay, interesting. Be able to see a lot more of the matches in this episode. With the first one, because of the tactical stuff and having to build up through the friendlies, it was so hard to know what I could show to keep the episode under like half an hour. These should be much more... We should see a lot more of the games now. Obviously, we'd rather have Salah in this game, but I feel like Jota could do a decent job out on that right-hand side for us, and we've still got Mane, Firmino, and the other lads as well. And when you look at where our goals were being scored from in the last game, obviously we scored a couple of long ranges and one from a set piece, but we did create an awful lot of open play chances for our front men. They just weren't really able to finish them for whatever reason. It's just one of those things, I suppose, as Mane wins a free kick inside 15 seconds. We've had a couple of little pot shots in the opening stages of this game, which is a good sign. Just getting in for... What a run from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh, he's through again. Oh, Alex. Oh, what a strike. Come on, Andy. Pop one on Virgil's head here. What can he do? Virgil van Dijk! It's a big save, and on the rebound he puts it in. Well, there we go. Southampton 0, Liverpool 1. Virgil van Dijk gets his first goal of the season. It was inevitable. I honestly think we could get 7 or 8 league goals out of Virgil van Dijk this season. Just because he is so much more powerful than virtually anyone he comes up against. To be fair, this time, the goalkeeper actually makes an excellent stop, but comes back to Virgil, and on the second attempt, he's put it over the line, and we lead 1-0 at St Mary's. Patience now, chaps. Ooh, big tackle from behind there, but is there a ball through? There is. Nathan Tella! And he's just smashed that over the bar. That was a big chance for Saints. They've already been forced into an injury substitution as well, which might help us, because surely that will make them weaker. Fabinho. Lovely ball out to Andy Roberts. Well, actually, no, it was a bit behind him, but oh, what about that for a touch? He's actually created an opportunity for us here, potentially. Great ball in. Jota at the back post. Robertson going all the way across for Trent, and this is great. Bodies flying into the box. He just has to get this cross in. I love the way they work spaces for the crosses. Oh, it's such a nice piece of play. And Mane's at the back post for 2-0. And we finally got a nice little goal. A sort of close range one from open play there as Mane cutting into the back post. That's just really nice football. A lovely ball across the pitch from Andy Robertson. But the way that Trent gets this out of his feet and actually takes that fullback on to provide the space for the cross. And the cross is absolutely sublime. Through the corridor of uncertainty, and Mane makes it 2-0. Okay. Happy start. 2 goals, very important. A 1-goal lead is something, but 2 is much, much more like it for us. It will allow us to sort of slow the tempo later in the game, maybe. Try to reserve a bit of energy levels. Quite important here. But I also just want to keep playing some nice football. Popped over the side for Firmino this time, making the run into the channel. Mane's creeping to the back post again. If he can find a decent cross, he's got a lack of support out wide, though. But here's Trent. Oh, nice. Firmino. Oh, he's been fouled. Redmond's fouled him, and Redmond might be going off here. He might be about to be Redmond. Yeah, that's the joke. Enjoy. Penalty awarded. And incredibly, Nathan Redmond escapes without a second yellow there. This is a chance for 3-0. Fabinho from the spot for Liverpool, and he slots it home, and it's 3-0 inside half an hour. Okay, then. Redmond driving forward for Southampton. Now, Teller through the middle. This is a chance for them, and a good save from Alisson. Well defended for now. All bit of space now for Southampton. Redmond's shot is cannon off the crossbar. Perot is finding an awful lot of space out wide here. That could definitely be something to look at in the second half, as again, it's well cleared. But again, Southampton putting a bit of pressure on us now. They're getting those fullbacks quite high up now. Scooped into the box. Shea Adams' header is wide. It does feel a bit like, because it's towards the end of the half, maybe a bit of tiredness was creeping in there. And again, I like that that's been modelled around the side of Mane's throw. And can he make it 4? And he does against his former club. 4-0 in the first half. That was a really nice piece of football and a really, really nice pick out from Diego Jota to pick out Sadio Mane for his second goal of the game and his second in the first half. It's like watching Liverpool against United yesterday. Lovely work here from Oxlade-Chamberlain for me, but look at this for a ball from Diego Jota. Keeper maybe could do better there, but a gorgeous little finish by Mane, and it's 4-0. Well, half-time, and we've basically been as good as we were in the entire game against Leicester here. I don't know what's going on here, but yes, happy days. Hopefully we can get, a bit of freshness back in us from the half-time rest and not look quite so leggy in those wide areas. As Ward-Prowse with the strike, it's a good save from Alisson again. Ward-Prowse's delivery. It's a great header from Jan Bednarak. I mean, To be honest, I can't really argue with that. We haven't defended that corner particularly well, and Saints do get a goal back at the start of the second half. It is an absolutely towering, powerful header. No goalkeeper in the world saving that. Maybe the guy on the line could have done something, but still, clipped over the top, and Joe Gomez wins it. Matip's had to go off with a slight knock, so Joe Gomez is going to get a nice sort of half an hour run out here, and I'm not entirely bothered by that at all. Nice to get him some football. In fact, he's making a little run. He's a centre-back, remember? Mane's header! I just like to point out, our centre-back just made a run to the byline. Oh, and how has he missed that? I can't believe he's missed that. All in all, very comfortable performance. Southampton 1, Liverpool 4. We basically killed the game in the first half as Mane drills one and nearly has his hat-trick against his former club. But just a very strong performance overall. 2 wins on the bounce. 7 goals scored. Yeah, 1 conceded, and it was from a set piece. But I mean, we still looked okay in the second half. Just couldn't quite grab a 5th goal. But 4 is fine. Great result. Virgil, brilliant. But everyone else was decent too. And after 2 match days, that is going to leave us top of the league. Only us and Wolves now have 100% records out of 2 games. Right, it's Cup draw day. It's Carabao Cup first, but Champions League later, which is what we really care about. Just going to see who we're going to get in the Carabao Cup. It's Southampton again. I was kind of hoping we'd get like a Championship or a League One club or something. I'm still going to play a much rotated side and a youth squad basically for that game because we've got a lot of talent here and they need to play football. It's going to be a good opportunity for us. Sad if we were to go out though, just because it would give us less opportunities later to do that, but it happens and the board don't care. Here we go. Champions League. We're seeded 2nd so far, as if it's going to change. Well, it could do, but not in this season. Let's just do the automatic draw and see where we end up basically. I would love Group A. Group A would be good. Group B would be solid as well. Group D wouldn't be that bad either. Maybe not Group E or F. Inter are solid. There's a few groups in here I would not mind one bit. Okay, so not that one. Go on, give us B. D? We can't have C. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, it's Inter. That's fine. That's fine. It's going to be a question. I mean, I feel like we're good enough to win a group anyway, but I think having 2 slightly smaller sides potentially as our 2nd and 3rd place teams. Sorry, 3rd and 4th could be solid. Red Bull Salzburg getting there. What's left? Maybe, please not Ajax. Oh, Porto. That's not easy, actually. And bear in mind, Milan. No, they can't be drawn into the same group as Inter, can they? Dynamo Kiev. Okay, that seems like a more winnable one. More winnable one. I think we should still have the beating of this group, but it certainly could have been easier for us. But hey, if you've got to be the best, you've got to beat the best, right? Okay, so Chelsea have now played 5 games compared to our 2 at the moment, and they have managed to scrape their victory against Leeds United, but their position is a little bit false right now as we have 3 games in hand on them, and they're still not above us. And we have Palace at home today. Be great to go into the international break with 9 points on the board and a 3 out of 3 record, and given Palace's start, they've drawn both their games under Patrick Vieira, which actually does plan out quite nicely to real life. Question is, lineup-wise, is anyone back and available? Minamino's not really. We're looking at, I'd say, the exact same lineup here, although maybe I'd start James Milner instead of Thiago for this one, just to see what he could do. So Palace matching us formation-wise, which could mean if we can get the better of them, we should have a nice advantage there if we can beat them man for man. Ideally, we want to be going into that international break with 3 wins out of 3 on the bounce, of course. Particularly with the quality of opponent we've been playing in those fixtures, it's important to get these points on the board early with other opponents elsewhere dropping points too. That and it will give us a chance to get some players back to full fitness during that international break because they won't be on international duty. The likes of Henderson and Mane potentially as well could have those guys back for our final game of the episode as well. And I think that's against Brentford too, so it's not exactly... We could potentially go 4 for 4 from the start here. Milner. Look, oh, it's a nice pickup for Sadio Mane. Okay, what a goal. 1-0 Liverpool inside 2 minutes. Brilliant finish from Diogo Jota. Was that James Milner that picked that pass out? Because when Milner receives the ball here in the centre of midfield, he's got acres of space, but it's the fact that he doesn't roll this into the path of Robertson. He pooks it round the corner for Mane, who pulls out a brilliant cross, and it's a tap-in for Diogo Jota at the back post. Come on! What a start to proceedings here at Anfield. Robertson's cross now. Van Dijk can't get on the end of that one, sadly, and apparently, no, we might be winning a penalty here. Penalty awarded. I don't even see... Oh, apparently, Gay must have been holding Virgil van Dijk at the back post. He may not have scored from the back post, but he's now had a chance, and James Milner from the spot slots it home, and it's 2-0 in 6 minutes. Our 2nd penalty of the season, and James Milner's 2nd goal of the season. He's still on for 1-in-1 these days. It's 2-in-2 for James Milner now, if you count minutes per goal, I suppose. He's having a great season. From the spot, drills the penalty home. Maybe I should have made him captain after all, eh? Wow, what a start. Thing is, now we can just kind of manage this game from here. It's 2-0. Palace have got to come at us if they want to get anything from it. Robertson, round the side for Milner, clips it through. Firmino, oh my god, it's 3. It's 3 in 9 minutes, and Bobby Firmino scores his first goal of the season. Nice to see him actually contribute. He's been doing well linking up the play, but obviously, as a deep line forward on support, he's going to get less attacking opportunities, but still, really nice to see him do that. Lovely build-up once again, though. Just these little triangles here. Milner makes a little deeper run, and then picks out a gorgeous ball in for Bobby Firmino. Maybe the Palace keeper could do better with that. It's 3-0. I just figured that since they were playing the same system as us, as I said, if we could beat them man for man, then, oh, wow, Virgil van Dijk, and it's still a chance to knock, so Chamberlain can't put it over the line. Well, I couldn't really have asked for a better first half. This has actually been better than the last one. They've not had a shot yet. Mane all the way out wide for Harvey Elliott. Brought in a couple of subs here, freshen things up a little bit in the second half. Trying to get some more football for people like Elliott. Nice play. Back for Fabinho. Could he get a long-range strike? No. Doesn't matter, though. Lovely work on the edge of the box as Keita's strike is well saved. Well, Wolves are actually keeping lockstep with us at the moment, as Virgil van Dijk at the back post does get on the end of it, but I think that's going to be offside. Oh, maybe not. It's 4-0. Great ball in from Harvey Elliott, and Virgil van Dijk's on the end of it, loops it over the goalkeeper from a free kick, and it's 4-0 Liverpool now. Well, there we go. There's a second half goal for us. I just assumed it was going to be offside. I'd literally just put on Curtis Jones to save the legs of Sadio Mane, and within seconds, Firmino has now gone off injured. What we're looking at here? Potential groin injury. Right, we're going strikerless. Keita, particularly because we've got no real focal point. Milner has basically become the focal point, and he's gone around the side. James Milner! Oh, imagine if he'd scored there. Back for... Oh my goodness, a lovely little slide finish there from Curtis Jones. It looks like this is going to be it. Elliott's ball in and is caught by Guaita. This is basically just sort of suddenly turned into the James Milner challenge, just trying to see what I can get out of him in his wonderful old age, if you could even call it that. Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 0. I want to see what that Firmino injury is like, though, but a really solid performance again. Tailed off a bit in the second half, but didn't give Palace anything, so it didn't matter. They committed 24,000 that match. No wonder they gave so many free kicks away. As importantly, that does keep us top of the league. But Wolves, 9 points out of 9 for them as well. And West Ham, 9 points out of a possible 12. Firmino, out to 3 to 5 weeks, but it's more likely to be 3 weeks. Still annoying, because now we've got the international break before we come back for Brentford. But it's transfer deadline day in a couple of days, and it looks like any signings we're actually going to make are going to possibly come on transfer deadline day. I am genuinely tempted to try to get Juan Cuadrado in, just for like a really short-term deal. I know he's 33, but hey, James Milner's 35. But he actually is rocking some ridiculous attributes for a wing-back, essentially, which is what we'd be playing him as. And his tackling isn't awful to go with it. Positioning him, I mean, they're not great, don't get me wrong, but in certain games when perhaps we're against a slightly weaker opposition and we need to rest Trent out, potentially, having someone like Cuadrado there wouldn't, for me, be the worst idea in the world. Particularly for these kind of prices. If we could get him on the lower end of that, I'd be pretty happy. Let me go in with 10 million. It's lower than that, but they'll negotiate with us, presumably. They feel they can get more. Interesting. Let's try 11 million and see what they say. Transfers have definitely changed. United beat Southampton 5-1 with 4 goals from Cristiano Ronaldo. Arsenal beat Brentford 4-1, and Spurs actually do get a victory this time with 3 early goals against Norwich City. Hoping that Juve come back with something soon. They want 13 million. That's not happening. No. Why would I let you do that? You're trying to sell him, presumably. No. What? Oh, AI transfers have definitely changed. So just to clarify, there's like 2 days left in the window, and Juventus will only sell him to me if they find a replacement, which I guarantee they would not. Let's see if they put it back in now that I put it down again. No, now they won't, even though now they're not interested. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Oh, I have a lot to learn about the new transfer system. So they were willing to give me him for 13 million if I let them sign someone else, which I guarantee would not have done, or it's 28 million. Now they've just offered him to me 27 million. Yeah, now they won't negotiate on it at all. Okay, well, that's interesting news. Let's see what happens with that later. Okay, it's transfer deadline day. Let's get in. Yeah, no. Lots of no. Very expensive. Oh, I mean, could we stretch our budget? I would love to sign someone like Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. I would. It's interesting, though, that the rumours could also give you transfer ideas, potentially. Most of the players that were being offered here are of lower quality, you might say. According to our scouts, anyway, and the analysts, for one thing. I mean, Ander Herrera, I've always rated him as a very good player. Former Manchester United player, perhaps not the best idea here. Also, he would kind of just sink into a midfield and wouldn't really play very much. It's kind of nutty to me that Isco is considered... Isco is not a bad player, is he? He's just had a weird time of it. I wonder if we could rehabilitate Isco. Particularly if you could pick him up for 9 million. Might be able to get him cheaper. I'm really clutching at straws here. I mean, Milinkovic-Savic is obviously on a different level, but we just cannot afford him right now. Even if we structured this, I doubt they would let us. These are the sort of signings that next summer would be very interesting. There's Theo Hernandez as well, who's an excellent player, but like we've got Andy Robertson there, and the thing is the money would just be way too much. Certainly someone I wouldn't mind shortlisting, though. This is just the transfer window where we end up just randomly signing Isco at the end of it. Other good thing about rumours is you could also hijack other clubs' deals, potentially. There's Luis Diaz, 24-year-old Colombian from Porto. Still wouldn't be able to afford him up front, but we have money. potentially, to structure a deal. Maybe give us a bit of backup to someone like Mane, because really, right-hand side, we've got Salah, we've got Jota, who can play on both sides technically, but we've also got Harvey Elliott, whereas on the left-hand side, it does get a bit thin. So he's definitely an option for us, potentially. I'm tempted to try and make an offer and see if we can come to a deal. We've got 20 million, basically. I want to see what they actually want and whether we can structure it differently. So, what? Sign replacement player for... Right, is this just going to be a way of every club being able to say no because we're forcibly told to sign another player first? You're not going to, though, are you? You're not going to. I hope I can do that when clubs come in for my players. That's all I can say. 59 million. It's 8 hours till Isco. Birmingham City just tried to get Tyler Morton on loan from us, which is not a huge deal. Obviously happy to loan him. Optional future fee of £27,000. Are you shitting me, Birmingham? Come on. Maybe I should tell them yes, but only until I can sign a player first. Jan Bednarek for 43 million. You know, we essentially have an hour to make something happen. And I tell you what, right, I'm still not opposed to getting Isco. QPR want Tom Clayton with a mandatory future fee of less than 20 grand. Let's see how much he wants. Really, Isco? I'm not allowed to negotiate. You want to play in a role that we literally don't have? Transfers are going to be way harder this year, and I actually kind of like that, but God, it's going to take some getting used to. Because all is going to happen is he's going to come in, he'll get pissed when I don't play him in a role that we don't use, even if I am playing him in every single match. The fact that it's non-negotiable to me. Oh, Isco. Right, well, what a transfer deadline day for us. Next year will be better, I promise. But I figured you guys would want to see this. So yes, in the end, Newcastle did pick up Kieran Trippier from Atletico for 25 million and Maxi Gomez from Valencia for 44 million. Our squad is still extremely strong and we're top of the league, but I wanted to just bring in maybe one or two players this time around. I'm hoping that next window we'll actually have a lot more cash, which it seems that we will do. And I guess there's no point in wasting money. And maybe Isco would have been a bit of that and a desperation signing, but I don't know. You know, it's the new game. You want to show off the transfer system, and I suppose in a way we kind of are, just not quite in the way I was expecting. And I'm manager of the month, so all's well that ends well, I guess. In case you're wondering about the James Milner thing from earlier in the video, his one goal for England came in a 5-0 victory over Moldova in the 2014 World Cup qualifying campaign. So there you go. Hopefully you got that one right. Also, upon further scouting of Adam Klojek, it doesn't look as though he's quite the player that he was on previous FMs, sadly. And Kate has now hurt himself on international duty as well. Getting lots of top quality, potentially young talent coming through some of these scout reports. So at least now we've kind of got ourselves a decent amount of time to scout a load of these guys and potentially really come in with some big signings for next year. Chelsea and Arsenal drew 0-0. So Chelsea's start of the season with all their extra games continues to be kind of subpar, you'd say. And I guess it's not the end of the world really if Salah doesn't start here, because we get him some time in the second half, maybe he'll be fit enough to start against Inter, which is really more important at this rate. So we're going to put Origi through the middle here because he's injured. Salah can't play, really. Potentially Harvey Elliott. And I'm not opposed to it, but I probably will bring back Thiago for... Then again, it's just James Milner. Save Thiago maybe for Inter. That bench is going to need some clear up, though. We have a lot of minor injuries. Interesting system they've got going there. I wonder if there's wide centre-backs in there, given that they're playing a back three. This is quite simply a game we'd expect to win. Brentford have picked up a couple of points so far this season and do sit 12th in the Premier League, but it's all very condensed. That said, they're still newly promoted. We're 3 wins out of 3, and we should be able to come here and get 12 points on the board before we head into those Champions League matches. Because once the fixtures come slightly thicker and faster, there probably are going to be some drop points in there. Much like recent games, I think early goal, super duper important. Obviously, more changes to be made. You know, Elliott and Origi coming in here. We've got more changes to make in the second half. I think Salah will definitely feature, maybe for half an hour. Onyeka's already broken through for Brentford and already gives them the lead. Directly from the kickoff, basically, Frank Onyeka makes it 1-0 to Brentford. Okay. We finally got a bit of... that's not the word I'm looking for here. Adversity to break ourselves out of here. 1-0 down early days against Brentford. That was very, very easy the way they got through us there. We just didn't press high enough here. Once Tony has time to turn, the space is open. Nobody tracks on Onyeka, and it's 1-0 to Brentford. Well, I suppose if you're going to concede a goal, it might as well be 16 seconds into the match, giving you literally the entire game. And we've not scored less than 3 goals in a match so far this season, so you'd still feel like the odds are in our favour as things stand, but plenty of time to come. Mane flying through the middle, round the side for Origi. Can he get the first time shot off? He doesn't find the shot. Well, he does, but it's blocked. But that's good from us there. If we just have a game where we just can't take our chances and are a bit unlucky, then so be it. I'm looking at the long term here. Occasionally you're going to have blips, but so far it's been a bit sus from us. Oh, that's poor from Mane. Robertson is having a little run himself, and it's cleared. But Trent is there, and this is why I like having these fullbacks pushed up so high. Nice to the edge of the box for Harvey Elliott. Can he pop it around the side for Origi? Can he find Mane? Drills it over. And his head up, nice. Mane goes for goal, and he's hit the bar that time. Okay, there's definitely pressure coming from us now. He doesn't stop the cross. We need to win this header in the air, and we don't. And oh, big save. It's a big ask for someone like Harvey Elliott coming into this game. And maybe we'll have that impact of Salah in the second half should we need him. Obviously, if we don't need him, then I might not bring him in at all. But at the moment, it looks like we might potentially round the side from Milner to Mane. That's a big save from David Raya, and that was a huge opportunity for Mane. Great ball from James Milner. Chance for a set piece from us, or maybe Trent could go for goal from here. But look at the overload at the back post. Clipped into the middle of the box. Oh, look at the space. He can't get it back to him. Now maybe he can. And James Milner! Oh, great piece of play. Well, towards the end of the first half, we definitely started to take over. I think we have ended up slightly being the better side, but it's been a much more even competition than we've had so far this season. Every time Brentford clear it long, it's just coming right back at them. Now Milner, lovely ball over the top for Sadio Mane. Can he get the first touch? Right! No, he could, but the second goal, the finish was poor. Robertson now. The runs are being made again. Loads of space, and it's James Milner in behind. Can he show him how it's done? No, he's hit the base of the post. Oh my God, this game. Right, Salah is on. It's time. Salah picks it up, pops it across. Literally instantly, within a minute of coming onto the pitch, Salah has provided the equaliser for Virgil van Dijk. Not how you'd expect him to be scoring himself another goal for us, but there it is. Great ball in from Alexander-Arnold. Salah to the back post of all people, brings it down brilliantly, pops it across, and then it's a simple finish in there for Van Dijk. Can he pull it back for someone who can actually do something, though, is the question. It's quite a blocky area. Oxlade-Chamberlain with another good strike. Robertson's ball in. Van Dijk saved again. Well, they have defended quite well, in fairness, and goalkeeper's been solid, but we've just missed chances today. Just was not our day in front of goal, and that early goal conceded, we had plenty of time to come back from it, but I mean, you can see how as the game wore on, we just got better and better, but just could not find that second goal. But annoyingly now, we do lose the league of the league to Manchester United, incredibly, and Wolves could actually overtake both of us with a win in their game. So I was hoping for 3 wins out of 3 today and 4 wins out of 4 to start the season. I think we've deserved to win. I think we've played well enough to win every game so far. So there's still good signs there. Sometimes it just ain't your day. And I mean, you can see that there's a few little injuries knocking about and whatnot. Hopefully that's going to be good, though. Salah getting half an hour there will build his fitness up ready for Inter during the week, which is going to be huge. So if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like. That'd be lovely. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be sick too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so you can follow the two doing our HJK save on the beta. And I'll join you guys tomorrow for some Champions League action. And well, the Premier League gets a little bit more difficult as we go at home to Arsenal. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.